couple of group stage days left on the schedule, and that includes one more group stage game at AT&T Stadium out in Arlington on Saturday tomorrow, and we get to see Leo Messi one more time. He has been
maybe. Well, I don't mean that. This is another.
Well,
game.
that's a good point.
At 9 p.m. That's past my bedtime.
Right.
But I mean, again,
it was a risk for Fox to put the U.S. at 9 o'clock, like
fair.
10 o'clock Eastern time. Who thought that was a good idea?
The Stanley Cup playoffs with the games that start
well,
at
but here's the difference: they at least start the game when they say they're going to start the game.
That's true.
Hey, NHL,
Take
can
notes.
we do that, please?
NBA,
every American sports league. This is the one thing that FIFA does better than you. When you say you're going to start your game, start your game. Why is this hard? If you the NFL's pretty good with this. The NFL, if they say it's a 12:05 start, it's 12:05 or 12:06. If they say 3:25, it's 3:25, 3:26. They're pretty timely.
MLB's on the mark. They'll be like 3:17, like 6:07.
MLB's 6:07.
Those, but that's a fair point.
It's
that's
playoff
a fair
hockey.
Point.
It's they're waiting for the first game to end before they start the second game.
and it's the but no, because they publish. It doesn't matter if the game before is ended or not. They publicize it as an 8:30 start and started at 8:51.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Even if you just told us it's 8:51, just be honest.
And just don't start it that late.
It's all past my bedtime.
It's all past your bedtime. But yes, I mean, so we have Messi coming to town, Messi in Argentina. So we'll see if Messi plays. Like the United States, Argentina has their group already locked up, and they're playing against a Jordan team, which, I mean, they should, with their backups, they should beat them 3-4-0. So we'll see if Messi actually plays. He might, because the Kylian Mbappe is on his tail in the Golden Boot race. And
if I'm Messi, I'm making a case like, hey,
I need to play.
Give me a half hour. Let me get out there and run.
Give me a half hour, 3 goals.
Right?
I'll be done.
For real.
But that's crazy that that's not out of the realm of possibility. That he could be like, hey, sub me in for 20 minutes, and he goes and gets a brace, and it's like, that's why he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, by the way, curtains yesterday at AT&T Stadium.
I'm gonna let y'all handle that one.
Paging Jerry Jones. This is not hard, and clearly it's doable. And clearly everybody except for you thinks it's what we should be doing. Why are we not doing this?
We had this exact conversation.
I know, but
6 months ago, a year ago.
And 3 years ago. And 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
And 5 years ago.
There's no question of whether it's doable or easy. Those are rhetorical questions at this point.
Jason Garrett telling everybody that the sun's been there for 5 billion years and it'll be there for 5 billion more. And speaking of Jeopardy Kings, you want to talk about a nerd
Garrett?
to end all nerds?
Garrett
is
Garrett and I are cut from a similar cloth with all that.
That checks out.
Garrett is so funny to me because in his press conferences, and even kind of still to this day in his role at NBC, he was very robotic in his press conferences. He shed a little bit of that going to TV and being in the media. But if you ever got him in the walk-off after the press conference, he was 50 times more engaging and personable and enjoyable to talk to. And yes, he has charisma. And for some reason, he puts it in a box and puts it on the shelf and doesn't show it to anybody. And I understood it a little bit from a coaching perspective. He felt like he had to do the Bill Belichick thing and not give any information away. But now in his role at NBC, dude, you're in the media now. Let it flow a little. And he's still, maybe it's nerves. I don't know, because he's not. I don't mean to say that he's bad in his role at NBC, because I don't think that he is. But I do think that he could do more. I think he could show more of what he actually has that not everybody realizes he has.
He was before my time, so I didn't get to see that side of him. But interesting.
Yeah,
because I certainly don't know that.
I
don't know that side of him at all.
Yeah.
I see him as the. I'm not gonna do the impression.
You were thinking about it. You wanted to.
Yeah,
There was one moment where he let it slip, where somebody asked him about Zeke, and it's the iconic Jason Garrett soundbite that went viral because he actually shed the robot for a second. and somebody asked about Zeke and his dedication to the game or whatever, and he dropped an F-bomb in the middle of a press conference. Like, yeah, he blanking loves it, and like caught and like
it was like, whoa,
and you could like see him like clock back into robot mode, like sorry, and like continued along with his answer, but like. Jason, if you're listening, I doubt it, but if you're listening, let it fly, man. Like he could be really entertaining on TV, and he just doesn't let anybody see it. At least not to the level that I wish he would, because he could be really good.
Leave it to Leslie to turn our FIFA talk into football cowboy discussion.
I've done it.
Before we go, I wanted to note that. So obviously Messi's coming to town, but after that, our round of 32 games. I'm super interested to see which of the two, France or Norway, is going to come here. So they play today for the winner of their group, and the loser of that game will play against Ivory Coast. So we're either going to have Kylian Mbappe coming to town, or we're going to have Holland. So two of the best goal scorers in the world. And then in the other game, since Australia drew Paraguay, they already had the tiebreaker. And so they're slotted into that spot. And like I said, this Group G situation with Egypt, Belgium, and Iran is just so up in the air. Anyone can either win it, finish second, finish third. So that's why I put all three of them on there. But that'll be the other matchup on July 3rd. So I'm super interested in the France-Norway thing.
Well, I'm super excited about that. Imagine us having Messi here and then Kylian Mbappe. And interestingly enough, that the following game on July 3rd will be a really good indicator for who the U.S. might play should they advance to the round of 16, because that's the group that they would eventually play.
So here's the scenario. Messi doesn't play tomorrow, stays stuck on 18.
Yes.
Mbappe scores 2 today.
And that would put him at 18.
Then that would put him at...
Because he's at 16, didn't he?
16 now?
Yeah.
Okay. And then he re-breaks the record at AT&T Stadium.
So we have two moments of breaking the all-time scoring record.
Also, imagine being Ivory Coast
Yep.
and looking at the Americans' potential path through the knockout stage, where they get to play Bosnia in the first round, and then either, Egypt
or South Korea,
as it stands in the second round. Right. And they're going,
really?
We have to play either France or
Norway in the first round? What is this? This is garbage.
There's a couple of those. I mean, there's Brazil versus Japan. That's a tough one.
Yes.
Morocco's going to get a really tough draw with whoever plays them. So
yeah.
There's some tough ones in there, but I mean, that's why we should be blessed that we're playing against Bosnia.
And even more important that they won the group stage.
That's the biggest piece.
They're staying on the West Coast.
The travel piece is not talked about enough.
So
they don't have to come.
All the
they
same
could
time
have
zone.
been here in Texas if they could have been finishing second.
They could have been on the East Coast as well.
Yeah, so I mean, they're going to stay on the West Coast. The first time they would not be on the West Coast is if they made the semifinal, which would be right here in DFW.
Ooh, shoot.
I think that would be a big deal.
United States in a semifinal in Dallas.
Dan Hunt will be losing his mind.
Dan Hunt would be like, I was right. Top 5 program in the tournament. We got to hit a break. Kelly's putting us on the 3 shot because she wants to talk some hockey. We're talking Robo after this.